The emotions. Good morning, friends. I hope y'all can hear me because I'm out here on the rooftop, atrium, deck, whatever it is, in this new office building that we have. Listen, the way my feelings are set up, I'm just gonna try not to cry, but I might cry because it's just so much on my spirit and on my heart. And it just seemed like it came out of, well, I'm not gonna say nowhere because it's coming from somewhere. Listen, I'm grateful, I am thankful, I am sad, I am happy, I am joyful, I am just so many things, so many emotions. And this is the thing about shadow work. When they call it shadow work, it's because you're acknowledging. You're no longer repressing. You're no longer trying to suppress it, hold it down, ignore it, push it away. It's going to well up. It's going to come up. And I had to make sure I had my ID badge because I'd have came out here and got locked out and wasn't nobody going to open the door. Let's talk about seasons. Seasons and cycles. I just watched this video and it was so eye-opening because God created seasons. The enemy created cycles. Seasons change. Cycles are repetitive. Listen, come on here now. And man puts a time on seasons. Winter, spring, summer, fall. But just as with time, God says your season can change at any moment. Suddenly, your situation can change. And here's the thing with me. Sometimes I am so intuitive and so in tune that it's scary. But I want to be in a place where I'm not scary in fear. I want to be in a place where I'm at peace and in anticipation and hopeful about what is to come. And I know that it has been difficult for me because for the last few years, everything has just seemed so dark and so heavy and like I wasn't getting anywhere and like I was losing. But I remember many, many years ago, like back in the MySpace days, I made a statement that pruning is painful, but we need it to grow. And you know when you're pruning a plant, you're cutting off the dead ends because as long as the dead is on, you can't produce new life as long as you're carrying dead weight. And you may be able to produce it, but it will not flourish as long as we are carrying that dead weight. And so I'm reading all of these messages and I'm getting all of these messages about your next season will be great. And everything that you need is within you. Everything that you need is coming to you. It's right there, and that someone is going to help you. And it's all about miracles, signs, and wonders. And God knows I'm holding on to that and wanting to believe that for me. See, I've always had so much faith for everybody else. When it comes to me, it was, oh, ye of little faith. But I was not always that way. So we're in a season of transition. We're in a season of change. And I'm talking to my mom yesterday, and I read this thing about who is one person that you truly admire, that truly inspires you. And I have a list. It might be a very limited list, but it's a list of people. But one person that I will say is top of my list, probably number one, is my brother. My brother Kenya has always done exactly what he wanted to do. He's always listened to the music he wanted to listen to. He's liked who he wanted to like. He's wore what he wanted to wear. He's gone where he's wanted to go. He's lived where he's wanted to live. My brother has truly been an example of live your life. And it's not to say that he did not care about other people or how it may affect them or, what it was. But when my brother said that he would probably never live in the United States again, it hurt my mom. And people always say to her, how can you let your child live? train up a child in the way that they should go. They should go. And my brother has seen his share of hard times and struggles, as we all have. But my brother has always persevered. And I'm so proud of that. And I'm so inspired by that. I'm so proud and inspired by a lot of things and a lot of people. And I just continue to say that I want to see myself the way that God sees me. You know, relationships have always been very important to me, and it just kind of makes me happy and sad, because it makes me happy and joyful to see so many wonderful relationships. Then it makes me sad, because you want that for yourself. You want to be seen, you want to be respected, you want to be cherished, you want to be loved. And it bothers me when people say, you got to love yourself first. Self-love is the best love. This is very true, but that does not change the fact that you have a desire of your heart. And your desire to want to be in a relationship does not mean that you don't love yourself, because we were created to be relational people. We were not created to be alone. Now, you take that with what you want to take it with and do with it what you want to do with it, but I'm speaking from my reality, from what I know, what I've studied, what I believe. Change is inevitable, and the more you fight against it, it's not going to stop it. But back to seasons and cycles and what I read. God created seasons. Cycles are repetitive, and the enemy created cycles because if he can get you stuck in a cycle, when he leaves you, he always knows where to come back and find you. Just like the hamster on the wheel. At some point, we have to make the decision to get off. At some point, we have to make a decision. And a lot of times we make life harder than it truly has to be. And I'm speaking to myself. I am speaking to myself. Because I have truly made my life a lot of times harder than it has to be. So right now in this moment, I just want to pray. And I want to speak not only a quality of life, but a quantity of life. I want to call forth the healing and the abundant life that God has spoken for all of us. I want to walk in a season of greatness. I want to see God I want to see myself the way that God sees me. I want my relationships to flourish. I want my finances to flourish. My children to flourish. And when I say I want everyone connected to me to win, I mean that. I stand on that. Because anybody that knows me, I'ma fight. Even when I don't have the strength to do it for myself, I'ma fight. For my parents, for my children, for my friends. That's the heart God gave me. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I don't owe anybody anything. Nobody owes me anything. But I owe it to myself to be the best Kai that I can be. So yeah. Y'all go forth and be great. On purpose, with purpose. Because you have purpose. And you know, I love you. On purpose.